Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Keeping It Real with Rammona. I'm very honored to have a special guest with me today. Her name is Ananya Paul Dodmani. Hi Ananya,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So glad that I could be be in this platform to be heard. Totally my honor.
No, I think it's wonderful that you made the time to, be here today and talk to us because I know that there's a lot of wonderful work that you've been doing over the last, I don't know how many years is it? Is it more than 20 years?
18 years.
18 years, okay.
Yeah.
And I know even right now you're in the midst of doing, very good
Thank.
work in difficult conditions. So we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But for now, I just wanted to briefly introduce Ananya to anyone who's watching this now or might watch the replay. Ananya, she's actually a tribal rights activist, and she's someone who works a lot around sustainable menstrual issues. So she is also known as a sustainable menstrual warrior. She's been working very closely with tribals across India, getting them proper education and also teaching them basic life skills, which she's found in her work. That's an area that's been a lack area for tribals. And she's actually, by profession, a criminal psychologist, and her work has actually taken her to very very remote areas of India. I think she's currently also in a remote area. We're going to talk about that very soon. She's also working at actually trying to get tribals proper education, and apart from teaching them the basic life skills, she's working for their betterment overall. She has single-handedly built toilet blocks, girls changing rooms. She's also, built community centers in the remotest Karbi villages plagued by militancy issues. So she's reached over, I believe, 30,000 tribal women across India with her Sustainable Menstrual Program. And she's actually taught them how to make biodegradable pads. And that's something that, she herself has worked with. And I believe she's got a patent for that as well. So I think that is an issue that's very close to her heart. She wants to ensure that that basic right, that basic dignity every woman should have, should be provided to women in tribal areas as well. She's worked very closely with Santhal tribal women on making their lifestyle better by promoting their products across India. She's also the founder and trustee of Tribal Connect, which is a non-profit which works for tribal upliftment. In 2019, she won a national award. So she's a Karamveer Chakra awardee. And she wants to continue creating ripples in the tribal community and help them get a life that she feels they deserve. In her own words, she says, Ananya says, I won't stop chasing a better life for each one of us in the tribal habitat, however difficult it may get. So that's a little bit about Ananya. And, there's already a comment here, Ananya, that I wanted to share. So Zubi, I guess, had seen before, the live once it was posted. And he's made a comment here. Wow, Ananya is an amazing lady. I've been following her work, helping all the tribals in every way possible. All the best. So I think he's someone who's familiar with your work, and he has been following your work, and he's shared that you've been doing really really amazing work. So Ananya, just to get started, it would be wonderful if you could tell us a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, and then why don't you first tell us where you are right now? I know you're in a remote area. Where exactly are you?
I am right now in a very remote tribal village, very close to the Indo-Myanmar border. It is flooded everywhere, so I am kind of shuffling between Northeast and South India because I cannot stay here more than 3 days. If I stay here
Okay.
more than 3 days, then they'll put me in the quarantine. So I just work for 3 days, then go back to South India, go back to Karnataka, stay for 7 days in quarantine, again come back to Northeast, again work, and then again go.
Wow.
So
My
that's what.
goodness. That's some kind of dedication, Ananya.
If we stay here more than 3 days, we'll have to take, be in the quarantine. So
Okay.
3 days is the maximum thing we can be here working, and then again go back, stay back in quarantine for 7 days, and then again go back, work for 3 days, and again come back.
Wow.
That's
Wow. So I said
And
that
you're
is some
like
kind of
very close
dedication.
to. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Very close to Indo-Myanmar border. Very,
Okay.
it is flooded everywhere. Uh,
Okay.
right now, I'm in the circuit house, so proper network. I hope the network is fine here. Otherwise, we don't have any other network or connections in and around. So this is the place where I charge my devices. Charge my mobile phone, charge my laptop. This is the place. Usually, when there is no floods around, I prefer to stay in the villages with the tribals itself, with their home, anywhere the community centers we build. I stay over there only. But because now everything is flooded and washed off, I don't have any choice than to stay in the circuit house for the time being.
Ananya, your voice is kind of going in and out. So can you
Yeah, can
either
you hear
speak a
me?
little? Now it's better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear
yeah,
you now. I
yeah,
think you were
yeah,
talking a
right?
little softly, so it was a little difficult to
Yeah,
hear you. So,
yeah.
Ananya, I'd
So,
love if you could
yeah,
share a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, and then we'll go on to how this interest, in working in this particular area developed for you.
yeah. Basically, I'm born and brought up in a small tribal habitat in Assam called
Okay.
Lamding. It is a small
Uh-huh.
tribal town, and
Okay.
most of my friends in school, college, they were all tribals. My life kind of I am ethnically a Bengali, but I
All
am
right.
kind of born and brought up in Assam. So partly I am an Assamese, and then the tribal connection because most of my friends, my ayah at home, I was both my parents were working parents. So my ayah,
Uh-huh.
she's also a tribal. She was also a tribal, and then
Okay.
I somehow knew that there are a lot of potentials at the very young age. I somehow got to understand one thing is that if certain community has a potential, as human being we have the obligation to do something which can bring out their potential. That was the only thing at that time I could have understood. So I
Okay.
started kind of teaching them, writing their names, and also probably uh, just make them understand what is written in the Indian currency and at least read the billboards. That was the major three areas, not even areas, this is the major three things which I always thought should be taken care of. So that's how my probably because I have seen the tribal culture so very close from my end, because we don't in the 90s and the 80s we didn't have much of entertainment outside, like there were
Uh-huh.
no theaters and there were no cable connections, so the only thing you could do is probably go and play with your neighbors or your tribal friends or go to their
Sure.
villages and play their local games. So that's
Yeah.
how I started kind of something which is I felt a pull towards the tribal culture.
Uh-huh.
Something I felt, a lot many people tell me probably somewhere I actually I don't know what it is, but a lot of people tell me probably I have a connection with tribals in my past life.
I'm
I
sure you
really
do.
don't know. I really don't know, but which I always felt that connectivity with them, trying to understand what is lacking in their thing, which we as outsiders can bring a change. That's how it
Okay.
all started.
All right. So the three
Yeah.
areas that you mentioned, Ananya, I'd
Mhm.
love for you to repeat those three areas. You said
Yeah.
there were three areas you were very keen that they should be
Yes.
able to
It was
work
like
with
it
or
was
be
very,
aware of.
yeah, it was very basic thing. Like I have
Yeah.
seen my ayah giving a 20 rupees note to a shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper says it is 5 rupee note.
Wow.
So she doesn't even know what is 5 rupee and a 20 rupee note.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they should have that basic understanding what is written in the Indian currency.
Okay.
First thing, and second
Yeah.
thing is, I always thought they should be able to write their names. That is very
All right.
important to write their
Yeah.
names, be able to write their names in whatever
Yeah.
language. Basically, the language which everyone understands. Okay,
Sure.
no thumb impression, no thumb impression. And
Yeah.
thirdly is being able to read what is in the billboards. That is very
Okay.
important for me to for them to read what is written in the billboards, because otherwise, if they are going somewhere outside for their for some kind of necessities, they won't be able to understand what is written and what is written in the bus stop, what is written where, and that will be a mess. So basic three areas, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've understood. So, Ananya,
Yeah.
you also studied criminal psychology.
Yes.
So, I was curious to know that, why is that like a field of study? Psychology, of course, I understand because, even when you're doing the work that you're doing, you're working with humans. So, that aspect of psychology comes, you know, into play and it's important. But why did you decide to pursue criminal psychology and has that helped you in any way
Uh,
in your work?
yes. Yeah, my dad was kind of taken away in a tribal area,
Okay.
and tortured for a few days, like for a week or so, 5 days, and I don't even precisely remember because it was so way back. Like
Yeah.
it should be more than 5 days. And I remember the trauma as a family, what we go through because I didn't have a brother. Myself, my mom, and my younger sister, who is 10 years younger to me. So as a family,
Okay.
we were so traumatized
Yeah.
to understand what was happening with my Baba. We never knew where is he, whether even he's alive, he's dead. We never knew
Wow.
about
That
it.
must have been
Mm,
so difficult.
Yes, it was so
Yeah.
traumatic. And then even after he escaped after 5 days, he had to run away to 50 kilometers through the forest area to come to the nearest railway station, and then take a train and
Okay.
come back home. After that, he had a series of multiple heart attacks, and he went to coma. Mm,
Oh my God. Okay.
and then we had a series of surgeries done, and he was never the same person again. I never found my Baba that confident, or my ma was not willing to send him to go for work. Like she used to be traumatized every time my Baba used to go out for work. So I've seen that kind of repercussion happening in the family. Somewhere I knew this was something which has to be dealt in a systematic way. That was the time I had a keen interest on studying English literature. I was
Okay.
totally madly in love with Shakespeare, and Shakespeare's plays used to, fascinate me so much. And then I found a sudden shift of, interest towards psychology to understand why
Okay.
human beings do this to other human beings, and
Sure.
why do we find pleasure or find some kind of happiness in harming another person. So
Okay.
that's how I started researching. We didn't have network back then, no phones and nothing, all
Uh-huh.
of those. So started
Uh-huh.
reading a lot of books, going to the library, trying to understand what makes a human being do something which is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Then I took up for my higher studies. I have taken up English literature, criminal psychology, and tribal studies. Tribal study was one subject. Nobody was there in the class. Nobody took up the subject. Tribal studies. Who will study tribal studies? Hmm? Not even the tribal study. As tribal people study tribal studies. Okay.
Hmm.
So in my graduation, I did my tribal studies. I had a subject called tribal studies, and then
Okay.
criminal psychology and English literature and political science.
Okay. Wow.
So kind of I knew if I need to change the situation, I am the one who is chosen for it. Once you think that you are the chosen one, things gets easier for you, and that's how it started. And now,
You are
18.
you're quite an inspirational lady, Ananya, because I know in your own life, obviously you've gone through a lot of difficulties. In your own
Mm,
life, you've been through a lot of difficulties. It's not been an easy path always. But I love the way you shared that you felt that you were the chosen one, and in spite of whatever your family and you encountered, you decided that this was the area. Working with tribals was an area that you were going to continue doing great
uh,
work in. So I really admire you for that. A lot of people would have decided to walk away, because sometimes we get so involved with our own personal problems or issues, like how you shared about your father, that sometimes people just feel that no, this is not something that I want to be associated with or I don't want to work with. But it looks like you're someone who actually decided that your work was so important and what you were doing was
you know,
really
ev-
required in the world.
every time I get, it's not that I'm not frightened, I'm not afraid. I sometimes get really afraid. But
Okay.
this one question I've been asking myself for last 18 years is, if not
Yeah.
me, then who?
Yeah.
If not me, then who?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
haven't found the answer till now. So till the time, I find the answer, if not me, then who? Till then, I have to keep working.
Wonderful.
So, uh, because when you have a lot of options in life, you take
Yeah,
a lot of, you are in a luxurious position that you can afford some kind of options. For us
yeah,
in the tribal villages, we don't have options. We have
yeah,
just to, take the plunge, keep on working. See, it's a simple question as like, if not me, then who? I've not been
yeah,
able to answer myself for last 18
yeah,
years.
yeah,
See,
yeah,
if
yeah,
if even after, I have so many volunteers and all those things, people working for the cause, but then there are some times where people are not too much of consistent, working in the forest area, because you need a
yeah,
lot of permit to work in the, a lot of permissions, lot of paperwork to be done. So once, if there is no consistency in things you do and believe in things you do,
yeah.
things gets difficult. So the day I'll find, the answer of this question, if not me, then who? And then then probably I'll take it a little slower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if we asked ourselves, each one of us asked ourselves that question, no matter what it is that we do, the world would be a different place. Like I said, a lot of people would just take the easy path. You are obviously taken a path that you're very passionate about, but it's not an easy path. I have a couple of comments here, Ananya, that I wanted to share. Kamal says, great work and very brave of you to do this. And Samara Mohan has said, amazing work. So I wanted to get into one of your, areas that you work a lot with, which is the issue around, the mensuration and sustainable mensuration. So I'd love if you could talk more about that. That
Yeah.
what is the work that you really do, and how did you actually decide that that was an area you wanted to focus on?
Basically, with sustainable menstruation hygiene, this workshop, I started in a very small way. What happened was, I found it very difficult in the tribal villages. Well, I was working personally to,
Yeah,
go and change my stuffs when I'm on periods. So, like, I have to really wait for the sunset, to go to somewhere else and do my stuffs.
yeah.
Somewhere, and also
And
with
that's
that,
because there were no toilets. That's what you're
no
saying?
toilets. Yeah, there
Yeah,
were no
yeah,
toilets. And
yeah,
also because even if my sanitary products finishes off,
yeah,
I have no way to access all those things, because I have to again, kind of go travel another 30-40 kilometers to go get those pads. Okay, so lot many people speak in a different way, that we are thinking about the environment and so and so. See, basically, I didn't have any idea of this. It was purely my selfish way of understanding what happens, what happens to the human anatomy and what we can do best. So
yeah,
somewhere I knew, I have to find some way for this for myself and the tribal women there. So
yeah,
then kind of I started reading a lot of things, and then I came to know it's not only, biodegradable pads are not something which, which is not something, not a rocket science. You can, if you research it well, keep it, try and prepare it for yourself at home, and then try and use it. Probably, with every use, you will know how to better the product. So I started doing that at home, trying to, stitch it with my sewing machine at home, and trying to use it myself somewhere, back, back almost, 10 years back. So then,
okay.
and then I found, that time biodegradable thing was not even the talk of the town. I
Oh,
did it
interesting.
because I did it because I didn't have pads. Okay, I didn't have
Understood.
pads to
Yeah,
use, so I
yeah,
try to do it. And then I thought it is a very cheap way and pocket friendly. Why not teach it to tribal women there? Because
yeah,
I have literally seen tribal women using leaves, using mud,
yeah, yeah.
to, to maintain that menstrual blood. So.
And that
Uh,
leads to so many other issues, so many health problems.
so many health
Yeah,
problems coming. Then somehow I started doing it, got hold of few tribal women together and started making it for ourselves. Like, then it started falling in place. And then I started
okay.
telling them, okay, if you are doing it, if you are happy with it, now why not make it in a bigger scale?
Yeah,
Like 10 pairs extra. You, if you need 20 pairs, For
Yeah.
yourself, make 30 packs
Yeah.
and try and
Mm-hmm.
sell those 10 packs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
how small
Mm-hmm.
income was started, small income generation started taking place. And that's how I reached to so many tribal areas in this 10 years, reached almost 30,000 women. I don't even keep a count. This is 30,000 women. I'm saying this because this is on record. I have a paper
Okay.
of work done for this. I really don't know how many people I have talked to, and how many organizations I have taught for free, and people are using it for free. But I am in no condition right now, to sell the patent and do it in a corporate way, because if you teach these tribal women, they can use it themselves and also sell it themselves, generating some kind of income for themselves. So that's
Sure.
that's a good way to kind of ensuring that they have some money in their hands for a better
Yeah.
living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think that's a very, commendable initiative that, you've done. I wanted to, talk a little bit about, sometime back you said that, there are times that, you do feel scared. And so that is because of the kind of areas you work in. Is that right, Ananya?
Yes. Yes.
So can you
Yes.
tell
Yes.
us a little bit more about the type of areas that you
Yeah.
work in?
See, basically, Northeast is something which is always disturbed by cross-border insurgency. There's a lot
Yeah.
of the borders are very porous, so there are a lot of
Yeah.
cross-borders insurgency happening. Then there
Yeah.
are internal militancy as well taking place in small
Yeah.
habitats, and you don't even know, how will people take you intervening in their habitat. So
Yeah.
it becomes difficult sometimes for me. I'm also a victim myself. I have
Yeah.
been shot at, and then kind of thrown in the forest, and then
Wow.
finally being rescued by the army. But then
I can't even
it's
imagine the
very
difficulties you encountered. And you're
so
someone who is dedicated to this work.
see, yes, again I'll say it may sound again more cliche or more boring. If if i'm if i'm alive, if I'm
Yeah.
still breathing, that means I have
Yeah.
a purpose to fulfill, and I have to do it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
on the other side of the world, I don't know
Yeah.
whether there is something life after death or something. But if there
Yeah.
is something life after death, and if someone
Yeah.
questions me, what have you done in so many years, I am not someone who runs away. I have to answer that. I have to
Wow.
answer if someone asks me, if in my deathbed, what have you done with your life? So I keep on searching for my answers myself. If I'm not
Yeah.
being able to answer my own questions,
Yeah.
how can I be worthy enough to answer people's question, or clarify people's doubts? If I myself don't know the answers, I cannot go and
Yeah.
I'm not worthy enough to go and teach somebody something else.
Yeah.
So better,
I mean,
search your own answers, and your conscience will never fail you. uh, kitna
you're
bhi,
really, I mean, Ananya, you're incredible. I mean, to be shot at, while doing work where you're trying to help people and to continue doing the work and, sort of operating from a place where, if not me, on my deathbed, I don't want to have regrets. I mean, I really, really respect you so much
because
for
see,
that. There's a comment here from Nandini, and she says, "What a brave lady! Truly admire her." I totally agree with her.
see, the thing is, basically, people think I am really brave and I have taken the road which is less traveled. Everyone hearing me out hearing, I'll tell you something. Every one
Yeah,
of us is brave. Just that
yeah,
you have options, I don't have an option. I have to work for my people, because if I don't work today, my kids will keep on questioning me. You've been from, if I am from there, I've been born and brought up there. What have you
yeah,
done to your land? And I have
yeah,
no answers. I really don't, appreciate people asking me questions and I don't have the answers.
yeah.
So that, I should know all the answers. That's it.
Yeah, you're
So,
leading. You're leading the way. You're leading your life by example. That's beautiful. So Nadia, you talked about kids. I want to talk about your children. I wanted to
yeah,
ask you, how many kids do you have?
I have 209 kids.
How many?
209. 209.
209 kids.
Yeah. And
Okay.
one of it is actually my biological kid, and my
Yeah,
eldest daughter, whom I have
yeah.
adopted legally, is 92 years of
You've legally
age.
adopted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legally
She's
adopted
92
92.
years old, you
Yes,
said.
yes, yes,
92,
yes,
right?
and
Yeah.
yes, 92 and seventh grader. she's a 7th grader.
And one of the things you shared with me before was that she really wants to be educated, right?
Yes. She
Your
says
92-year-old.
she wants to study. She says she wants to finish her board exams. So the day she finishes her board exams, I promised her to give her a mobile phone. And she says me she says you have given me a mobile phone which just doesn't happen a kind of video call. I want a smartphone. So the time she finishes her 10th examination, I promised her that I'll give her a smartphone. So because to keep motivating her to study hard, I have to do something which keeps her going. So that's the reason I set some kind of goal for her. So in 10th grade, in seventh grade, if you pass your 7th grade, you'll get a phone, just normal phone, okay, to talk to. And once you finish your 10th grade, I'll give you a mobile phone which has a smart calling facilities and all of those. So she's fine with that.
So, anyone who's watching this now or watches the replay, Ananya just shared that, she's a legally adopted a 92-year-old lady. I'd love to know her name, Ananya. What's her name?
We call her Kamla.
Okay.
We call her Kamla.
She's a tribal lady, right?
Yes. She's a tribal lady, and being actually left in a community park by her kids, and she had nowhere to go.
Okay.
So that's how we came in touch, and I love kids of all ages.
And you said with her, you feel you have a connect, right? We talked about this earlier. You said that you felt you had a connect with her, a special connect.
Yes. So the thing is, most of the time, again speaking about the Karbi village where I work, apart from the kids, most of the ladies call me Fee. Fee is a granny. So most of northeastern part, wherever I work, they call me Fee. So I'm a grandmom. So I've been promoted in these 18 years as grandmom. So if you say
you're a young grandmom, Ananya, grandmom full of energy, and so vibrant.
So most of them,
So that's a sign of respect, I guess. They're calling you granny out of respect, right?
Most of the time, even men who are almost nearing hundreds, they call me Fee. So it's granny. So it's something which keeps you connected to the roots, keeps you connected. See, people, if you know the language, if you don't know the language, that is different thing. See, I don't know all the languages, tribal languages, which differs from kind of habitat to habitat. Okay, from one mountain to another mountain, you will meet a different tribal clan. Okay, so that tribal clan will have a different language. So there, all the languages I don't know, but still, when they call you Fee, you know that you are loved. You know you are in safe hands. You know you can stay back at night for shelter. So that kind of tribal. Anyone working for tribal, the main thing, the foremost thing you should ensure is the local help. Without the local help, without the local support, I tell you, you cannot do anything in any tribal habitats. If they are if they don't cooperate with you, if they don't love you for what you are doing, if they don't trust you with things you do, things will not fall in place.
Yeah. Also, Ananya, I wanted to ask you, I know, you travel for your work, this work that you've dedicated your life to, and your family, like your husband and your biological child, lives in another state. So I wanted to ask you about that. Has that been tough for you? Because, staying away for such a long time on a continuous basis, and how's it been for your son?
My son is quite easy on that, like, because he has seen me traveling. He knows kind of I have different priorities and I have different prerogatives, and he knows what happened to my past. He knows that I have a question which I keep asking myself, not me, then who? Then he was one day, he was like very reluctant to leave me in the airport. He was not he said, no, you cannot go. I don't know what happened that day. He said, I cannot go. Then I asked him the same question, if not me, then who? If you answer me this, I'm not going. If you can answer me this, if you find someone, if not me, who, then I'm not going. Then till now he couldn't find that answer. So,
Wow.
so when you don't have an answer,
Yeah.
then you have to go and work for yourself. So that's how. Even
Beautiful.
for my even for my husband also, he's been
Yeah.
totally supportive in a way, because he knows, because we've been married for almost 15 years now, and he knows kind of what I want from my life, or probably what keeps me gravitating back towards those villages. He
Sure.
knows where my heart beats. He knows I am someone who loves working with tribals, who thinks that until unless I find my answers, its main basic questions which I've been asking myself for last so many years, till the time
Yeah.
I don't find my answers, I have to keep working. I don't have a goal. So he is someone who keeps supporting, and because he basically, as a family, when we are together, we speak a lot of thing about tribal cultures, tribal way of life, and all of those.
Uh-huh.
He kind of
Okay.
understands. Also having said that, he also works with tribals
Uh-huh.
in his place, with the
Okay.
Kundis and the Siddhis. So he knows,
Yeah.
how it feels to connect with people. So that's how, yeah.
Okay. Lovely. I wanted to ask you, Ananya, a little bit more about the organization that you founded. The
Hmm.
founder trustee of the organization called Tribal Connect.
Yes.
So please
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about that.
Mhm.
What is it about? And also, I would really, really appreciate you telling us that, what are the ways people can actually help, with the issues that you're working with. And maybe we can talk a little bit about the current scenario, because I know you're in an area that has a lot of floods. So
Mhm.
maybe we can just start with, your organization that you founded. If you can share a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about what is the current issue that you're working with these
Right,
days.
right. See, the Assam flood is something which happens every year. It is like an
Yeah.
annual kind of thing which happens.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right now, see, we have a lot of powerful mediums like social media, and people
Uh-huh.
like you are little, are kind of hustling with the situations. People, see, before, nobody used to talk. We didn't have much of access over the net, or
Sure.
kind of things. So people started
Mm-hmm.
noticing Northeast. People started
Okay.
understanding the Northeastern issues, and
Mm-hmm.
people came to know that we have not been taken away by China. Still, we are still in the
Yeah.
country. And a lot of
Yeah.
people think that we have been already taken away by China. Mm. So,
Yeah.
so we are still there. We are still hanging
Yeah.
on. The 7 states are still hanging on, fighting it out
Yes.
with lot of issues. So the main
Yeah.
one, people, uh, probably because of the lack of awareness, they are not, they are not being able to connect with this parallel world. So yes,
Okay.
tribal connect is more or less about, uh, upliftment and tribal, ways of, handling tribal issues and tribal,
Sure.
tribal way of life, and giving them a kind of, better way to live. Also, my husband also is a founder of another organization called Saksham Foundation.
Okay. Sorry, what's it
Primarily,
called?
Saksham Foundation.
Okay, Saksham.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. And right now, the thing is, both of us are trying to generate things as much as we can. Saksham is working on diverse issues, like,
Okay.
his kind of. We have back to school projects. We have, Project Warmth. We have then, issues called Kisan Abhiyan, Saksham Kisan Abhiyan, all of that. So it is the
All
work
right.
done by Saksham is a little, varied. Whereas Tribal Connect is something which is only concentrating on the tribal issues,
Got it.
tribal upliftment
Okay.
and tribal issues. So that's
Okay.
how. But coming to the Assam flood situation, this is the
Yeah.
72 consecutive day. Today is the 72 consecutive day
Okay.
we are catering with grocery for a month, and,
Yeah.
personal hygiene kit for the people affected by floods. But
Okay.
now the water started, kind of receding a little bit now. But with that,
Uh-huh.
not many people know Assam is also fighting out malaria, African flu, landslides, forest fire, plus the
Wow.
COVID. So
That's a lot
with
of
all
different
these
things going on.
so all these
Yeah.
issues doesn't come out too much in the national media, because of the inaccessibility of the entire northeastern, states with the mainland. So
Okay.
it is something these 7 states are like something which has been always been disturbed because of the geographical terrain, instability of the river Brahmaputra, and the
Uh-huh.
porous borders to add, to add to it. So basically, we have multiple issues right now. Anybody, I am looking out for someone who can, see, for the basic needs, essential needs. We have been doing it for over a month now, but now I
Yeah.
need assistance with building the houses which have been washed away. Our houses, our community halls has been totally washed off. We don't have anything right now. If you have been following my social media profile,
Yes, I have been actually.
yes,
Yeah.
you will see nothing is there. It is washed off now. Right now we are
Mhm.
anyhow trying to build it. We need help with rescue and rehabilitation.
Okay.
मतलब अभी at this situation we cannot keep people in the too much people crowded in one place because of the
Hmm.
COVID infection. So we need to kind of generate some kind of help trying to rebuild and rehabilitate these people in some other places in a higher plane. So the challenges are innumerable. Like I don't even know how we'll be able to do it. And I am someone who have never taken no for an answer. But every year I've been doing this. This year it is very difficult because everything got channelized because of the COVID happening, and
Sure.
now getting food for so many people for so many days. Today is the 72 consecutive day we are
Okay.
giving food. We are giving
72 days
food.
you've been doing this
Yes,
work.
this is a
Yeah.
constant thing happening, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, where it will take me, but I know one thing for sure: if your intentions are good, if your vibes are good, people will reach out to you. The day I cannot manage or bring about food for my people, that day none of us will eat, and that's the end of it. लेकिन जब तक मैं हूँ, till the time I'm breathing, my people will have food,
Wow.
and that's it.
You are just,
Because mm,
an absolutely amazing woman, Ananya. Thank you so much, for being on this planet and actually being someone that, in your uh, approach to life and your approach to different things that come your way, having this sort of attitude where you're always like, if not me, who else? And agar the people I work with don't have food to eat, then none of us will eat. I mean, that's absolutely, to me, absolutely incredible. I have a few photos here, Ananya, that I wanted to
yeah,
share. So I'm just going to put on the screen share and maybe we can talk about them. There are about
yeah,
5 6 of them. I'll just scroll
yeah,
through them and then
yeah,
maybe you can talk a little bit about those. Yeah,
right,
just give me a
yeah,
moment. I'm just sharing
yeah,
my screen here.
yeah.
Let me know when you are able to see the photos. I think they should be visible. Can you see the photo?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, okay. So
yes.
tell us a little bit about this first photograph.
Mhm. Uh, I mean, this is the same. I mean, this is a quite a disturbed area where I work. So these people called me Ma, and they wash my feet because they feel I
That's
am
again a sign of
kind of,
respect, right, Ananya?
yeah. They just stand in queue and do it. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, they feel
beautiful.
that connects a bond, and these are the same places which have been so disturbed. These are the same
Yeah,
places which people don't want to work.
yeah,
Uh, and towards the left you can see women older than me sitting with me just to show
yes,
they support what I'm
yeah,
doing.
wonderful. So I'll just move on to the next one. Tell us about this photograph, Ananya.
Oh, this is my kid. She
Yeah,
constantly keeps on
I love this
constantly
photograph.
she constantly keeps on asking kurkure. I mean,
For kurkure.
I mean,
So she's your 92-year-old child. Yeah,
no,
the one
no,
you,
yeah,
the
she
one you
keeps.
adopted. Yeah,
Yes. This is. I mean, she will not take it in any other way. Whether you have food, no food, you have money, no money, doesn't matter. Kurkure should be there.
yeah, So sweet.
So
That's absolutely adorable. So, so
yeah,
these
this
are
is
all photos taken in the areas you work in,
yes,
Ananya, right?
yeah. This is one lady, not lady again, my kid only. She calls me. She's not my kid actually. She calls me grandma
Okay.
because she thinks my body looks like a 13-year-old, but but my something here is of an old soul, old lady, something older than her. So she calls me Fee.
Very sweet. I think there are a couple more pictures. Okay, this is the same one we've already. I think we saw that photo. Okay, for some reason, the other couple of pictures, yeah, there's one here. I thought
Yeah.
it wasn't loaded.
This is also my kid. She is in sixth standard.
Yeah,
She's in sixth grade, and she
yeah,
wants to finish her post graduation.
yeah,
I don't know whether we can finish her post graduation, and she wants
yeah,
to somehow look like me. Mm,
yeah.
she says she wants to do her post graduation in criminal studies.
Okay.
Uh, so
So I think
so
she's inspired by you then. Interesting,
probably I
because
don't
she
know.
wants to be a criminal psychologist as well. So when you say the others are also your children, it's basically that you're working with them, you're taking care of them, you're educating them. So,
No,
to you,
no, most of them I have legally adopted. Some
you've
of them,
adopted so many legally.
yes,
Wow, Ananya.
yes. Because who knows
Wow,
someday people will take away my kids. Uh,
wow.
so I cannot take that
How many
trauma.
have you adopted, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, 208.
208 children you've adopted? I mean,
Yeah,
adults.
yeah.
Most of them are
Yes,
adults
yes,
that you've adopted.
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
I mean, a lot of people just with their one or two kids struggle, taking care of them. And, I got this stress and, I'm not able to do this. And, I
For
need to do this for my child. I mean, you're just incredible.
if mothers are hearing this, if any one of you are mothers here right now,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is just keep your kids busy. This is a trick I have learned over the years. Just keep your kids busy. Just
Yeah.
teach them some kind of crafts, some kind of things like reading newspapers, something which is very productive, and they will not too much bother you. Just have to identify what interests them, and then
Yeah.
just exactly put them kind of facilitate them towards doing that. So once
Yeah.
kind of understand their passion, they will
Yeah.
not, I tell you, they will not bother you. So apart from this kid of mine who every time asks for kurkure, other than
Yeah.
all of them all of them are okay to handle, quite easy to
Okay.
handle. But this you have to sometimes be a little lenient, and giving them some kind of greed and treat, I'll give you this and that, but that's it.
So beautiful. So there's a comment here, Ananya. Kamal says, so much admiration for your dedication to the cause and your compassion for your people. More power to you, Ananya. So, I mean,
Thank you
I
so
somehow
much.
was under the impression you just adopted that one, 92-year-old. I didn't
No,
realize
no.
that you've actually, adopted so many more. I mean, I know that you're very involved with, educating or taking
See,
care of
people know
many people.
most of the time, people think, kind of, I'm I'm doing a great work. I'm being very, compassionate, just like Miss Kamal just now told, she wrote
Yeah,
in the comment that I'm very
yeah,
compassionate. I am not compassionate. I'm doing it for myself. In every interview, I'm not compassionate because if I don't do it today, tomorrow, people like Rammona and if I fail, no, if I fail right now, I'll be failing all the women out there. I cannot afford to fail any one of you. No, no, even for Ramona, everyone who is commenting there, and all my kids. If I fail tomorrow, they will say, "See, this is the way women fails." And if I fail, I'll be answerable to all the women folks out there. So, as I said, I don't want to answer anyone, and if I not like I don't want to answer anyone, but I have to have the answer first. So if you have it's not being compassionate, it's not having the luxury of options. I don't have
yeah.
an option. Who if again
I mean,
if
I
I
was
don't
just
take
going
care
to
of them.
say how modest, and the person who made the comment previously, she said the same thing, how modest, I mean, I
if
know, I can understand what you're saying. It's not that I don't understand what you're saying, but you obviously, this is not work that everyone does,
see
there is
if
something.
if I don't take care of them, who will take care
Yeah,
of them? I don't know. And then even if they fall in some trouble, okay,
yeah,
somewhere there was some girls who were like kind of not being able to, their parents were not being able to take care of them, okay, so they dropped
okay,
out from school. And then
okay,
what happened is they were so passionate to study and they wanted to do a lot of things in life. Now, if I don't, help them with their studies,
yeah,
tomorrow if they land up in problem,
yeah,
they will always remember me for not helping them out. They will always have a bad impression about every woman they meet. So I cannot for अकेले मेरे लिए I cannot feel the entire community, right? Every time they
yeah,
meet a woman, they will say this, she's also this woman who didn't help me out. So I cannot malign my community. I have to अभी करके अब मुझे करना पड़ेगा ही. You have to मतलब till in this 18 years ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ है. Never happened कि I wanted to do something with a good cause, good intention. Probably थोड़ा लेट हो गया है, कभी लेट होता है
yeah,
because I
yeah,
need to channelize everything. But never in my life I wanted to reach out to some tribal habitats and I couldn't reach. ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ. कभी नहीं
wonderful,
हुआ है. So
wonderful. So
you have
some
to.
people may have just joined us now. I just want to reiterate a few things we were talking about. So Ananya has been working, in this field for about 18 years. She works in a lot of tribal areas, which are very, very tough areas to work in. Currently, she's been helping a lot of people who are dealing with the floods in Assam. And we were just talking about the fact that she's got, she's actually adopted 208 individuals. She's legally adopted them, including a 92-year-old. And in her own simple way, she says that it's not something special I'm doing. It's just, somebody's got to do it. And I love the way, Ananya, you said that if I don't adopt them, if I don't have that legal, adoption in place, somebody might take away my kids.
Am I
Obviously,
audible?
you're audible. Can you hear me, Ananya?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yeah. And
Okay.
obviously, you've really got those heart connects. And, in the beginning of our conversation, when we just started this conversation of keeping it real with Rammona, with you today, you said that some people have told you that, maybe there's a lifetime connect, like from another lifetime. And I'm someone who myself does believe that, because obviously you're so deeply connected to a lot of these people and, the work that you're doing, that I'm sure there's more to, it. Maybe, that awareness of what exactly it is,
Some,
from a past life
I don't
might not
know.
be there.
I don't know whether this is the right platform to speak about it. But
Yeah.
every time I visit a tribal habitat, मुझे ऐसा लगता है मैं पहले गई. So,
Yeah. आप गए होगे. Yeah.
so मतलब I feel however new habitat it is, I feel like I have been there and I
Yeah.
cannot remember when did I go. I try and kind of talk to people and try to
Yeah.
reach to a conclusion, but
Yeah.
every time, trust me on that, irrespective wherever in India I have gone, I feel
Yeah.
I've been in this place somewhere which I cannot remember. Um,
Yeah.
तो अभी मैंने over the years अभी वो सोचना छोड़ दिया है मैंने because
Yeah.
I'm not getting an answer, right? I'm not getting
Sure.
an answer. I have talked to many people, healers and tarot card readers. They say the same thing, but then
Yeah.
मुझे particularly it kind of gives me an awareness that I belong to this place and
Yeah.
nobody can change the situation other than me, and I have
Beautiful.
to I, as if some people in the tribal habitats have saved me, given me life, and I am just paying them off.
Ananya, I think somehow, it's frozen. The screen's frozen. So I'm just going to request. I think Ananya's back. The screen had frozen. Can you hear me, Ananya?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think, she's in a very remote area and she did share that the connectivity might be a problem. But, so far we've been very lucky we've not really
I'm
had
really
too much.
sorry. I'm really sorry.
No, no,
Everyone
it's
working
it's
out
been
here.
it's been
Mm,
perfect. So far there's been no issues. So I have some more comments here. Arjun says, awesome to hear and read about you, Ananya. And I think when we were talking about, the adoptions and all of that, he says, oh my God, how awesome. What a wonderful human being. And Kamal says, great mission. So those are some more comments that have just come in while we were talking about
So,
this.
Ramona, I just
Yeah.
want to, tell through this platform. I've been telling this in so many platforms. Please, don't tell me that I'm compassionate. Don't tell me I'm selfless. I am paying back to the people who have probably given me back in my previous life. So this is
Probably.
my
I'm
payback
sure.
time. Yeah, this is my payback
I'm
time.
sure.
Because compassion or being selfless is a different ball game altogether. Okay, मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता है. मुझे लगता है कि until unless I pay back, I will not get my answer, which I told you, spoke about you in the beginning of the
Yes. Yes.
this thing.
Yeah.
मेरा payback time अभी भी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. I have to pay back.
You're too incredible. So Ananya, tell me, you won a national award last year,
Yeah,
right? So tell
yeah,
me a little bit about that. I think you shared in a conversation with me that after the national award, things changed. More people reached out to you. So
yeah.
I want you to
Mm,
talk about the award, and I want you to talk from the perspective of, you did share that this is what you require help with,
mm,
but I would like to also, maybe later just put it into this. Broadcast in the comments the direct ways that if someone wants to contribute, how they can contribute. I'm going to request you for that information in a bit, but would you be willing to share a little bit about what I asked you about the national award and what changed for
yes.
you after that?
Mm. Yeah. See, basically, I've been working for quite a long time. See, right now, abhi situation kya hai? With the advent of the social media and people going to, becoming a small world, people have, kind of noticed what I have been doing for last so
Yeah.
many years. Now, so,
Yeah.
yeah, Karamveer Chakra came as a very, very surprise kind of thing. मुझे तो I never knew how to apply for it, frankly speaking. Okay, living with the forest dwellers, I have
Yeah.
totally forgotten how to even apply and do stuffs like that. So,
Yeah.
someone from the Karamveer Chakra coordinator, she, connected me and she told me, you have to apply for this. I said, how do I apply? I'm in a village right now and I don't have any connectivity to send you the mails and all of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then she told me, no, you have to do it, and it closes by this evening itself.
Yeah.
So I somehow managed by evening, sent her all the details about myself, and then there I land up going to Delhi to receive the
Uh-huh.
Karamveer Chakra award. But
Okay.
with receive when I saw people out there who have won, who are like my contemporaries who have been working, I felt so small. I felt मैं कर क्या रही हूँ अभी यहाँ पे. I mean, some people are working for blood donation. Some people are doing for patients with kind of terminally ill patients. Some are working for
Yeah.
startups and entrepreneurship. तो मुझे तो वहां जाके I felt I'm just out of something which I'm not being able to connect anything, understand anything. A lot of people were speaking about a lot of their areas, so I didn't have anything much to say. I just said when they asked me to introduce, I said I just love my people. Mm, and that's it. I don't. What do you do? I'm a criminal psychologist by professional standards. And what have you been doing? I said I love my people. Mm, because
I think
मैं
the love of
इससे
your people shows in your work.
so there I land and with the Karamveer Chakra. After I won it, people started taking notice, and people started
Yeah.
asking me, "How do you love your people? Do you do it in
Yeah.
a systematic way? Do you
Yeah.
have any plan or a kind of कैसे करते हो? Do you have?" People started making me explain ये सभी project के हिसाब से करना पड़ता है and all of that. And I started thinking, how can you love people with projects? I mean, then I started, okay, let me call that project love. And people started laughing at me. So, not many people asked me, what do you do for living?
Yeah.
I just say I love people. That's it. I love my people. I really don't know when I ask for help. Help comes from nowhere. It comes.
Yeah.
And
I've
one
been
more
seeing
thing.
your social media. I think it's
Yes.
been literally like sometimes it's like, you get a request for supplying
Uh-huh.
food immediately and you don't know where the food's going to come from, but in a few
Yeah.
hours you've organized it.
Yes, organize it. And then I am one person who is very shameless, okay? I'm very shameless. If I need your help, I'll go and ask you. Okay, I'm not being able to have food for my kids. Please give me. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? You will not give me. But if I don't ask you, who knows? I may
Yeah.
miss the opportunity to ask. See, अपने लोगों
Ask
के
and
लिए
receive.
खाना अपने अपने लोगों के लिए खाना मांगना थोड़ी ना you should be shameful about. I'm not shameful.
Yeah.
This is one quality about myself. I admire myself. Okay, I'm shameless.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Wonderful.
when it comes to my people, when it comes for their basic necessities, I am the shameless creature on earth. I will go and
Yeah.
ask food from anybody. Okay,
Yeah.
and this has been helping me all throughout. I have never been like gone and asked someone food. उसके पास क्या भी है, even 10 rupees, if someone is there, they have given me 10 rupees for my for arranging the food. Okay, so my
Yeah.
basic priority right now for so many years have been arranging food. एंड फ्लड्स हर साल आता है, सो फ्लड्स के
Yeah.
बाद घर बनाना है, सो
Okay.
rehabilitation and arranging food,
Yeah.
and with
Yeah.
that my sustainable menstruation program plus some kind of life skill development जहाँ से they can generate some kind of income. So we have come
Yeah.
this far all together. Okay, all my people,
Wonderful.
we came together this far. So
Yeah.
I tell everyone who is hearing, please be shameless. If you need help, please reach out to people. If you are not
I was just going
shameless,
to ask you, is there something you want to, share with people? So that's a beautiful message. Please,
yeah,
repeat that, Ananya.
yeah, please be shameless. Be unapologetically shameless. I'm repeating it because if you are not shameless, nobody will come and give you. You have to go and ask. You have to go and say, my people is in trouble. My people are in trouble. We don't have food. Please give us. Okay, so if you see, it depends on how, on what you are asking. Basically, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think my people in my country, if we ask people food, they will definitely try and help. So that is one faith I have for people of my nation. I truly understand and truly know, if you ask help, that will be, executed and done. So anyone hearing me out, I see I am not someone who has a lot of rocket science knowledge. I must be a criminal psychologist, but over the years I have not done anything but loving people. Okay, so I know, if you do two things, love people around you and being shameless, will help you out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wonderful. Ananya, thank you so much for being here today on Keeping It
Yeah.
Real with Rammona and taking the time out to, talk to us and sharing your journey and helping us learn a lot more, about what is also our country, but a lot of us don't, really
Uh,
go there or think about it or focus on it. So I hope that, this conversation will generate more awareness and more people would be willing to reach out and assist in whatever way that could contribute to
Lastly, I
change.
want to say you one thing. Try being,
Yeah.
shameless from tomorrow. Try and ask,
Okay.
go and ask people
Why
what you
not from
want.
today?
Yeah,
From
do it
today.
today if you can. Okay, so if you go
Done.
and ask people, if you ask people, I want this, I want
Yeah.
this. If you say, the universe
Yeah.
hears it, the universe
I
conspires it,
agree.
and
I agree with you.
it will make something. Some arrangements will be done. Trust me.
Yeah. 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 Agree
I know
with you.
I'm being
Thank
sounding
you.
very weird, but this is how it has worked for me.
No, I think you're not sounding weird. I mean, I work along these principles as well. So I totally understand what you're saying because it's like, when you're giving a clear signal to the universe that this is what you desire and you're clearly putting that out into the universe, then the universe doesn't have an option except to answer, that request. It's like a
I'll
request that
tell
you're placing with the universe.
I'll tell you, sometimes I don't even, sometimes if I don't have people to go and ask for something, no, I
Yeah.
kind of, go and just, look at the sky and keep asking, give me this, give me that, and all. I need food, and
Yeah.
trust me, it has worked for me. somewhere my food arrangement has been made. I wanted to make homes for these people who are here. Just keep a little faith in yourself and keep on
Yeah.
asking. That's
Yeah.
it.
So Arjun said you should reach out to NSDC for training for livelihood. Now I know that the areas that you work
Arjun,
in are very
we have our own life skill training, sustainable training livelihood structures. We do have that, but हमारा problem क्या हो रहा है? It is very remote area.
exactly, that's
Nobody,
what I was saying. It's
no,
a very remote
mm,
area. Yeah.
very remote area. Nobody see you. I am very close to Indo Myanmar border right now. So
Yeah.
nobody wants to go resource person. We don't get. Nobody wants to come and do stuff. Say, no connectivity. There are no accessibility of roads. No accessibility of vehicles. So we have our own program. But then I will keep in mind your suggestion and definitely work towards it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So again, Ananya, thank you so much for being here today and taking time out to share your journey with us. And I wish you all the best and lots of blessings to you and for all the beautiful work you're creating in the world and especially for all your children. All the children that you're working with and you're working for just a lot of gratitude for you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the change that our world requires. And
Uh,
I wish you all the best going forward.
thank you so much, for having me in your show, and totally honored. And everyone out there, taking out your time. The best thing you can give to someone is your time. You have been patient enough with all the technical hitch and all of that. Everyone right there, Ramona, everyone listening to me. Big fat thank you. As fat as myself, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're beautiful. Ananya, you're
Thank you
beautiful.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for being here.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. Yeah. Yeah. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye,
Bye bye.
Ananya.
Bye
Bye.
bye.